All right, so morning of the second day, and
Right, we're back, and so we're going to start laying pavers. This is the exciting part of the project, where we're going to start seeing something getting done. We're going to be moving forward. So anyway, you've chosen a tumbled cobblestone, and this is where you have different design choices and color choices in pavers. So tumbled cobblestone.
I'm pretty pleased with my choice.
Well, I mean, customer's always right? So 7x9 tumbled cobblestone, very popular, 3 or 4 different colors. And then we're going to put a border of 4x8 Holland or brick size paver around it a different color. Contrasting colors creates more interest. So it's a great choice. Okay, next we've got our screed rails down over here. We're going to start off in a corner, and that's kind of a great point is where do you start? Okay, and we've got our patio here. What we want to do is take maybe a right angle, someplace where we're going to take into consideration where the pavers and all the material is going to be coming from. We've chose this corner. We put our screed rails down, and now we're going to start screeding sand. What we want to do is get the board down and find those screed rails.
Okay.
And we may want to put a little bit of sand back this way so the screed rails are covered. Okay. And so now move the board back and forth. You want to slide it back and forth as well. There you go.
Okay.
Until you find those screed rails, and then pull towards you. Now with a big pile of sand like this, you can start at the top, without finding those screed rails, and just bring it back. Yeah, just bring it. Yep, there you go.
What are these screed rails exactly again?
It's 3/4 electrical conduit. We actually took from the neighbor's garage. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But you get it at the hardware store, and the difference between the metal conduit, which is what we're using, is it's harder. It doesn't flex like a plastic or a wood would.
All right.
So next step is, again, we need to keep screeding sand. We want to keep the same level. So we're going to pick this rail up. We're going to leave that rail right where it's at and use it again. We're going to drop this here. We're going to pile, again, a little bit less sand, and then we're going to screed it back this way.
And we've got a hole here too.
Right.
We're putting pavers in that.
And that's why I gave you the trowel. So that's the next
good.
job. What we need to do is you're going to take your trusty cement trowel, and you're going to take a little bit of sand there on the side of it, and then just dump it in.
Okay.
And then once you dump it in, you smooth it out.
All right, so we've got our sand all ready.
Right.
To lay pavers now?
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's time. And we've decided again because of where the pavers are at, we're going to be bringing material in. We've got a nice right angle here with the walkway and the foundation of the house. We're going to start in this corner, but we've got a rain gutter here to work around, don't we?
We do. And so,
Well, you want to leave access for that, okay? So we don't want to block it, so we want to work around it. And there's a couple options. We can cut pavers, kind of small and piece them in, or we can use decorative rock or crushed rock around that again. So if it gets clogged or somebody needs to work on that, you can get to it.
and we just pull them out at any time, right?
Absolutely.
Put 'em right
That's the
back
great
in.
thing about pavers is they're flexible. You can pull them out, get to it, and then put them back down, and it looks like it never was disturbed.
Very good. So I guess we should start getting them down,
You
huh?
bet, let's do it. So you want to put it down there on the sand level and hold it from the top like you did. Perfect. And we decided
Just start lining them up?
Yep, start lining them up, and it's kind of a click and a drop where you're going to hold it from the top, click it up against the next paver, and then set it down on the sand. There you go, perfect. And you can see how fast this goes. This is the fun part. We're not digging anymore.
Oh, I always get the glove.
You need different gloves.
So unfortunately, it looks like not all the pavers fit in exactly, the way they were manufactured.
That's right. We have to cut them no matter what. And a lot of times it's the pattern. Just like there's choices with the pavers, there's choices with patterns as well. So you picked a running bond, which is a pretty basic pattern, which means we have to do every other course is going to be a half. It's going to start off that run. So we do have to cut a lot of pavers in half. So a couple different ways of doing that. We've got the hammer and chisel. That's the Egyptian method, right? And if you've got a few cuts, that works. It's low investment. Here we have a guillotine, which is a tool you can rend. If you've got a lot of cuts, it works out great. You just slide the paver in, line it up on the line, bring the handle down, and snap it. And then we'll just go ahead and place it right on the next run. piece of cake. And now we can just keep going with full pavers.
So you just showed me 2 ways to cut pavers.
Right.
Are there any other ways?
Yeah, a wet saw, a
Okay.
concrete saw. It's got a diamond blade. It's got a tray of water that pumps water over the blade, keeps the dust down. Those are available at your rental yard. They do a great job. Again, if you have a lot of cuts, perfect.
Okay.
And then what you can do is get most of your project done, get your pavers cut because they're rented by the day or the half day. Get everything marked and then rent it for a half day. Do all your cuts, clean it up, take it back, and so the investment is low.
So what's the what would be the best method for cutting? Would it depend on the size of the project?
Saw, yeah, that really depends on the size of the project, but we always recommend a saw. It's the best way, it's safe, and it gives you the best result.
All right, so up until now, we've been able to just kind of use the side of the house.
Right, and now it's time to put some edging down. So there's a couple different products. We have a snap edge here, which is a plastic edging, and it works great. You're going to spike it down with 1 foot spikes, steel, so they're going to rust and they're going to hold that thing into place. We've already got our base rock exposed. You're going to slide it up there against the pavers. You've got your spikes and your hammer there. We can see how hard the ground is.
And do I want to put a spike in every hole, or
No,
how
you
do I
don't.
space them out?
Every 4th hole is fine. Every 3rd hole, depending upon how firm the ground is underneath.
So maybe this one?
Sure, that works great. And then maybe one at the end.
Okay. All right, so we've laid all our pavers. What's next?
Well, the sand is what's next. We've got the joints that are open. We've got to lock the pavers into place. And now we've got to get the sand in. We're going to take it and sweep it at an angle.
Okay.
And then we're going to take the plate compactor, run it over it once or twice, keep adding sand until the joints are full.
Okay, is there anything we can use to make the joints more stable if we wanted to?
Yeah, Sandlock is a product that is out there that has got some polymers in it.
Okay.
You can put it down again. The pavers have got to be perfectly dry.
Okay.
You've got to do a lot of sweeping, make sure the pavers are really clean after you get the joints filled, and then mist it with a hose.
So is that already in the paver sand in a product, or
It
is
comes
it separate?
it
or?
comes both ways.
Okay.
You can either mix it yourself or it comes pre-mixed.
Well, very good. So we put the sand in, we sweep it in, with
Right.
the plate compactor.
Right. We
and
want
then do it all again.
Absolutely. We do it
Okay.
2 or 3 times until all the joints are full.
Okay, go ahead. All right, so got the patio laid. Only took us 2 days.
That's right. It looks great. It wasn't that hard, and the best thing about it is we can enjoy it as soon as it's
Right
done.
now.
We don't have to wait for
Exactly.
anything to dry. We've got our refreshments here. The barbecue's going. We're ready to go.
Very good. Well, let's get going and enjoying this patio. Thanks
You
for
bet.
all your work.
Not a problem.